Stanford, senior. What we're going to do now is make some changes to what we did for our first set of snippets. First set of snippets was just to get you used to doing some snippets. So let's look and see what else can we do. Just so we don't have to have all of this code setting here, I'm going to create a folder. This is an old school way of doing things, but it's fine. We all learn, and then you expand on your knowledge by learning. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a header. We're going to create a footer. We're going to come back here to our index, copy all of this, and we're going to put this in the header. I'm going to go back here, copy all of this, put this in the footer. Then we're going to come back here, and we're going to type cf include, and add an extra. And it's going to be go into the includes folder and pick the header. Whoops, I meant to pick the header. And then I'm just simply going to copy this, paste this down here, and change this to foot to be footer. And you know what? Let's actually go get Bootstrap. Just because I cannot stand the brightness of the white screen. My personal preference. Bootstrap. Go to Get Bootstrap. And then we'll just scroll down here and we will copy the CDN. And we will go back to, you could do the npm install and connect to it there, but right now we're just simply trying to use it for a quick little way to accomplish stuff. So this has the style sheet. Let's see here, and this down here is the JS. Copy that. We can put it right after that. And since we're not running the JavaScript at the bottom of the page, you really should, in old school anyway. So you can say defer, which will allow it to run when it gets to the very end. It can cause problems with certain JavaScript issues and things. And so now we have that. Now we can go up here and dark mode, dark. I don't have that memorized because I use a snippet normally. So let's actually go back here and you'll see when I start type. In fact, you can see I've searched dark mode plenty of times. And then I'll scroll down. There's a light one. All I need is to copy this. We're going to put it right on the HTML. So we come here, put it right there, take away a space, save. So now if I go back to the page, hit refresh, it's dark mode. I like it. I'll worry about any other Bootstrap along the way if I run into things I need. So one of the things you do, or I do a container for my Bootstrap. So what I want, div class equals container, and then an ending div down here. Everything that is in a container. And if you do fluid, well, let's just show you the difference between a container and a fluid container. Tab that over, and then I'm going to do this right here. Example code below. And then I'm going to do example code above. And then that's going to be the place where we're going to put all of our example code. So this will be on every page, and that below will be on every page. However, let's first go look at this. If I hit refresh, it moves over and loses all this space, which I don't want to use, don't want to lose. Most projects I work on need all the space they can get. So now it's fluid. So let's go see how that looks. So if we go back here, we hit refresh. I don't like the fact that it's all the way against the edge. So what we can do is in Bootstrap, and I know this is not what the project's about, but I'm going to do a margin to the start. This is Bootstrap 5. Bootstrap 4, you would do margin left and right. Bootstrap 5, you do margin start and end. So we'll just do 2, and then we will go here and refresh. It's moved over a little. If I decide to move it again, I'll do it later, but at least it's not white and blinding me. Okay, so what I want to do is we did the snippet, the CF dump, and we put in requests just to have something there. But let's actually, when you install ColdFusion locally, you can have certain databases already in your system set up. So let's actually, let's go keep this in the example code area. CF query name equals, what do we want to do? We want to get, let's say, the list of art in the CF art gallery. So let's first say, I could do get art. Get art. I guess I'll do that. I don't know if that's the best choice, but we're doing it for demonstration purposes. And CF art gallery, pretty sure is correct. And then we go to the next line. Lost my cursor there. Doing ending CF query, and we say select all from art, and then we do a dump down here. So let's copy this query. We want to do a dump of the CF art gallery, right? We want to see what's in the database. So we say CF dump, tab, post, save. So it made it pretty quick to do the dump. That's not a lot of time saved, but it's some. And so let's do this. So the one problem going dark mode is it's hard to see the query. So we will go back to light mode for now. And when we are looking at other things, we might go back to dark mode. I prefer dark mode, but I wish there was a way to have it automatically switch this dump to look different when you're in dark mode versus when you're in light mode. That is a request I should probably ask for. So if we look here, we see there is 55 records. It looks like in one of my other tips or things where I've added a few fake names, because here's one at the bottom. That's not normally there. So now we can see this. However, what I like to do a lot of times is to have my query show up like that, so I get to choose when I'm looking at the query or not looking at the query. It's there, I don't have, and it's not taking up a lot of space. But so let's say if I wanted to do that, let's go back to the index and let's actually close the header, close the footer, close the application.cfc. We'll even close these for now. Close that. Oh, now we're all the way back. So what I would like to do is to add on to this label. Well, let's do instead of that. So let's see here. First thing we want to do is expand equals no. It defaults to yes, so we're changing it to no. And then let's label this. If I can spell it right. We'll label it as get art. I like to make it the same name as the database. In fact, in a lot of database queries, when I'm doing it old school like this, I do prefer to put query and get art. And so if I do that, then I need to change this here to match, and I need to change this to match. That way, if I'm dumping a variable that says get art that's not get query, I know it's not a query. In fact, sometimes I've even been known to add an underscore. I'm not going to, but let's actually get rid of the query because we're dumping it. We're going to see it's a query. We're going to label it get query, and I want that to be lowercase. Personal preference only. It can be whatever you want. So now if I go back and I hit refresh, there it is. It says the labels get art. So if I do another CF dump, so let's copy get art. So I do CF dump, paste, save. That's how quickly that I can do that. If I do this, here is the original, here is the second one. So there's one other thing I like to do, and so I'll just copy this one and paste it. I like to also do top 10. And now let's compare all of these. Well, let's compare all of these, and then I'll show you. So let's hit refresh. So if I close this, I open this and look in here, all 55 are in there. But if I look inside of here, if I just want a sample of the data, if there's thousands of rows or whatever, I just want a sample. I don't want all of them. And it tells me how many rows there are. So it gives me an idea. I can make it 5 or 10, whatever you like. So let's actually make a snippet out of both of these. So let's go back over here to our snippets manager, and we want to click on one of these. We want to go to the top. We're going to add a snippet. We're going to paste this down here to start with. And we're going to say what you would normally type is CF dump. And what you're going to see is NS, whatever you want it to be. And then it's going to be CF dump and plus. This lets me know this is the one that has the label. I could type CF dump label. That would work. But for me, you'll see why here in a minute I do this. Or at least why I do it. So down here I can say CF dump don't expand and provide a label. You don't even have to fill out the description, but I do. So let's go ahead and see if I did it right. Hit save. Let's go find out if I did it right back here. So we're trying to emulate that one. So let's copy get art to make sure I've got that copied. CF dump. So now I see dump and dump plus. So I go down one, hit enter, paste. Okay, so the one thing we didn't do, it worked, except we didn't add in. I probably should add a space. I don't need a space because you want it to go exactly where your cursor is at. Okay, so let's go back to this and let's edit this. And what we're going to do is we're going to say in here, we want to do $, and we want to say variable. So I'm going to copy. Oh, wait, I forgot to do 1 colon because that's the first one. And we want to come over here and because they're going to both be, we want them both to be the same. And I would kind of like to have everything end up, the cursor to end up on the, after it finishes and I tab out, I would like it to end up on the next line. So that's what the 0 does. It moves it to the next line. So let's hit save. Let's go back here. Let's once again copy get art, copy, and let's tab once and say CF dump. Click on the plus and paste. Tab, and we're at the next line. So we just threw that in really quick. So we're going to do the exact same thing, except we want to do this one here now, but with the top 10. So let's get rid of these for a second. In fact, let's get rid of that one even. Let's go back to here, and we'll say add a snippet, and we want to call it CF dump. Hold on, CF dump. Come back here, do NS colon, and we want to do CF dump plus 10. This lets me know it's the plus version of the CF dump, but it's only going to show me 10. So come down here. So in here, we want to delete that, do this, and then say 1 colon, and we want to say variable, and we want to copy this and put it inside this label. I'm going to default it to 10. You can change yours to where you have to type it in, but if I get 10, and once I've posted it, I can change it to 5 or whatever I want. And I also want it to go here again. So now I've got that one. So let's go see if that works. So CF art, it's get art, so I can copy the query. So I want to do CF dump, and I see the +10, paste, save. So I do it really quickly, makes life easier. I will stop here and I will come back in a little while, make another video on some more snippets that I would recommend adding to your repertoire of faster, quicker editing and doing things. Now, if you're using objects and all of that, some of these are going to work differently. You're going to want to maybe make an object example, how you want to start your object most of the time, the standard things. All of these different kinds of snippets you can do. Just take time, think about what you're doing, try not to repeat yourself, and try not to retype the same stuff over and over again, and keep coding.